We are live, y'all. Welcome to a special edition, a late night edition, here on the Cowbell Kingdom platform, post-game show podcast, whatever you want to call this. The Kings are no longer undefeated. They are 2-1. That's right. We thought they'd go 7-2-0. Excuse us for being optimistic. We're just kidding. But no, they lost 116 to 100. The Suns played a hell of a second half today. I was tweeting out what type of adjustments Coach Monte would make against Luke with Devin Booker, and we'll get into the specifications of what the Kings are doing to Devin Booker in terms of blitzing him a little bit later in the show. But hey, Kings lost. They had a good first half and a sloppy second half. E-Man, welcome to the show. Appreciate you joining the show as always. What did you think about the game?
Like you said, man, I think they started off nice. Again, they got off to a good start. Second half is kind of where it fell apart. I felt like they were forcing, they're really trying to get Bagley involved like they did yesterday. It just didn't turn out that way. The Suns made adjustments, and then the Kings couldn't counter it.
One thing you talked about yesterday was who would get in foul trouble today. And we saw who got in foul trouble, right?
Yeah, we did. I had a feeling that would be the cause. Yesterday, Bagley did a good job. Belita, Holmes, they all did a good job attacking Aiden. And then today, it just, I don't know, it's because we're over here rooting for the Kings, but I just felt like they were giving TikTok calls on Fox, and he got in foul trouble. Buddy was in foul trouble, I believe so, but
the NBA doesn't like physicality, right?
Yeah, so man, it is what it is. I think next man up. My thing was when he put in Kyle Guy, kind of like to try to save the game.
Mm-hmm.
There were no plays being ran, bro. There were no. Hey, I have 4 3-point shooters on the floor, 5 if you count Bagley. There's still no plays being ran. If it's not off a timeout, Luke can set a play off a timeout. But if it's not from a timeout, I'd still want. There was no plays being ran, and I was kind of frustrated at that point. I'm like, okay,
was that the late third or early fourth?
It was the fourth quarter.
Okay.
Fox was already done. I think he already had 5, and the game was out of reach. And he put Kyle Guy in to try to cover up, just by shooting it, but no plays, man. It was just like dribble handoffs and then go ahead and chuck another one. And I was like, dude, at least run a play, run a play where someone has an open look, and there is no plays for guys to get open 3-point looks. And that's what I wanted to see, like if we were going to talk about, hey, here's a positive, when Kyle Guy stepped up, they ran this play, guys had open looks, because Kyle Guy could spread the floor. There was none of that. It's just bad, like no plays being ran. And I don't know if it's players doing that or Luke, but I have a feeling it was Luke, because the third quarter, they ran 6 plays for Bagley and let him go ISO every time. And I'm like, that's easy. For a coach, that's easy. Just throw it to Bagley, let him go one-on-one.
Right.
And honestly, Buddy had the hot hand in the third, and they didn't look for him, and Luke and Fox talk about we try to look for the hot hand. Well, Buddy was your hot hand. You didn't look for him today, especially in that third quarter.
Yeah, to me, one of the big positives from last night was the rebounding area, and the Kings were out rebounded today, 44-39. To me, when you have a bunch of bigs who can rebound the ball the way the Kings can, you can't lose that battle. And guess what? They did. Also, it was 44 rebounds, right? And they had 20 assists? I'm tripping. They had 20 assists today. 34 assists. That's moving the ball well. The Suns played their game today. They adjusted really well. I felt like in that first half, the Kings' defense was really good. And I loved the way they were blitzing Devin Booker, every time he caught the ball in the middle of the floor, and I tweeted it out. I said, how is Monty going to adjust to this? Can he put Devin Booker in a different position to get the ball in a different area of the ball where he won't get blitzed? And in the second half, they adjusted to it, and it was more of a flex cut where he would cut and then get the ball. He got the ball line in the mid post in the middle of the floor. I noticed that too. And those are the in-game adjustments that good coaches make. Now, to me, what will Luke do when he watches the film tomorrow and he's like, okay, I have to be better and not just having a good game plan, which he did. He had a great game plan. Devin Booker had 20 points and he struggled all night, literally. He was 1 of 6 from beyond the arc. How can he counter the counter? Which I believe is a learning curve for a guy like Luke Walton, who isn't that experienced, but it's going to come. Hopefully he notices it, and some of the assistant coaches can point that out to him tomorrow on an off day. And then you just go from there. The Kings were competitive for the most part. They had a tough third quarter. That's where they struggled all of last season. I believe the Kings had 7 to 9 turnovers, and they only had 5 in the first half. That's the ball game right there. And then they capitalized off of those turnovers as well. And the Suns, what do you expect for some good to happen? Chris Paul, again, 8 points, 12 assists. Not a great night, but it was enough for them to win the game. But Devin Booker, 8 of 19, 1 of 6 from beyond the arc. That's not a great game, man, for a guy who's supposedly an all-star. Blah, blah, blah. Like, yeah, he's pretty damn good, um, but the guys who really hurt them was Cameron Johnson and Mikal Bridges, 22 points and 21 points respectively. Those guys torched the Kings. What did you see from those two guys, man?
Well, that was the difference compared to yesterday. A lot of guys missed threes yesterday. Um, Albeit they still stuck around and made it a game because, like the Kings, they played pretty good defense. Um, but today they were hitting. They had the same looks. Luke had a game plan: get the ball out of Devin's hands, get the ball out of Aiden's hands, and live with the results. And they did that. And the guys were hitting. Guys were knocking down. But on just the counter to that is your offense. Like what do you do offensively? To stay in the game and to keep attacking the rim and keep try to get eight. If you can just get eight and out, maybe you don't have to make any more rotations to get the ball out of Aiden no more. And you can put an extra guy to stay on Mikal Bridges if he's hot. But tip my hat off to the others today on the Suns, man. They were knocking them down and they were spreading the ball and they were hitting the open looks. And the Kings, they'll live with that on the defensive end. I think it was pretty much. I think they did well today. I think it was an offensive, poor performance for Luke and the Kings.
Yeah, yeah. But one positive that I can really think about is Tyrese Haliburton. Again, had a hell of a basketball game. Right now, he's balling. Just in the first two games, this is a very telling stat from a defensive rating standpoint. Halliburton, when he's on the floor, the Kings are allowing 97.5 and without 109. So the defensive numbers per 100 possessions is astronomically lopsided when he's on the floor. When he's on the floor, your defense is so much better. And I'll say this, your offense is a lot better too, because the fact that he can hit a stationary shot and he can facilitate the ball for you, that right there gives you an abundance of options in terms of play calling as well. And I feel like, honestly, the more he plays, the more Luke will trust him. He already trusts him a lot. The more he plays, he's going to get more run, and he should. I think Corey Joseph was awful again today. What? Real quick with Corey Joseph and Devin Booker. I felt like Devin Booker struggles more with strength, and every time Buddy would guard him, it was different. He would hand check him at first, right? Put his body against him, and that's when he was kind of off balance. But when anytime Corey Joseph would guard him, it was like buckets over buckets over buckets. And no disrespect to Corey, I think he's faster laterally than Buddy, but definitely, as we can see, he's not stronger, and that doesn't phase Devin Booker at all. Strength does. So that's something to take note of, and we'll see how that plays out throughout the season. But Buddy right now, and we can get into Buddy later, but he's playing good defense. He's taking it to heart, and he really focused on that specific part of his game this offseason with Trey Slate. But going back to Tyrese, man, what did you like about him today?
I just like how he was not only knocking down open looks and his shot selection was really good for a rookie. He was dropping it off and finding guys, man, and like you were just talking about, he's a threat offensively because he can knock down that open look. And when the shot clock is running low, he's aware of it. He knows that the clock is running out, and he's either he needs to attack quick or make an extra pass. And it's super impressive to watch for a rookie to be so aware of all these things already and not have those boneheaded plays that you're so used to seeing, especially with the Kings at being so young. We've seen it so many years. This guy is different. This guy is impressive and off to a great start. It looks like he's a little vet out there, making plays to make his teammates better. And I
Yeah,
was again, like you have emphasized every game, he has been really, really impressive. Albeit like if you just erase the second half, you know, I think you could find a lot more positives in the first half. In terms like you were talking about good defense. Um, you know, who else they get in the first half? I think Bagley was drawing fouls.
yep.
He hit that open three finally that Buddy found it for him. In the first quarter, I saw Fox was shooting it again, man. He was again, like we talked about yesterday. I expect him to attack the rim, get down early, but he was pulling up, shooting jumpers. It's just and fine looking for other guys and but at the same time he was playing aggressive defense. Of course, he kept getting called for fouls, but like I said, in the first half there were a lot more positives, and the second half is when you really start to see Tyrese Haliburton bloom. When he was trying to resurge his team, resurge the bench. So shout out to Tyrese, man. The
Yeah.
King, the Kings got a blessing at 12.
Tyrese so far through 3 games, 29 points, 5 boards, 15 assists, 1 turnover, 50% from the field, 42% from beyond the arc. Those are really good numbers. Top 3 rookie for sure through the first 3 games. And the fact that he's in a small market, he may not get the recognition, but hoopers know hoopers, and that kid is a hooper. But before we continue, shout out to Valley Tire Center as well. Continue to support your local businesses, y'all. They're having great deals right now on Cooper tires and Toyo tires. And if you need an oil change, if you need free tire balancing, every time the Kings win, you can go collect a free tire balance and rotation for free. All that needs to happen is the Kings win a game. So go take advantage. Tell them the Cowbell Kingdom sets you guys. So Buddy Hield. Talk to me about Buddy Hield today, man.
It's been fun, man. It's been really fun watching Buddy and Booker go at it.
Booker was talking that smacky smack, man. He was like, keep
Yeah,
that
he
same
was.
energy.
He's like, keep that same energy when Buddy blocked his transition bucket, and the next
Yeah.
play, like the very next play, he finishes it. He's like, keep that same energy, buddy. I thought that it was fun, man. Hey, if they met in the playoffs, it'd be a fun matchup. That these guys have adjustments to be made, and it honestly felt like a playoff game.
Yeah.
Because adjustments were made from overnight, right? And okay, how are you going to counter what they're doing? Like they're hitting now. Now they're hitting three, so now the zone might not work. Now you got to play man because these guys are knocking down buckets. And so it was fun. It was fun, like defensively, just watching and see how the Kings adapted. And Buddy just going at Booker defensively and then offensively. I feel bad for Buddy, honestly. Like if he start like a lot of fans know he pouts or he's caused, his voice has been heard a lot. I can see it happening, like I was talking about earlier, because plays aren't being ran for him.
Yeah.
And, wins have been covering a lot, but the amount of catch and shoot opportunities he has versus him just pulling up is god off, like super bad. Like he's pulling up way more than he is catching and shooting. And that's because of personnel, like defense knows space guard buddy. And at the same time, Luke and Biggs aren't setting back screens like we're so used to seeing on, so many other teams, like the Warriors, where, they're setting screens and letting, Curry get these moving screens,
They keep
honestly, to
calling
where,
that whack screen, moving screen on Rashawn Holmes. If that was Steph Curry, they are not calling that, man. That's such a ticky tack thing to do.
yeah, so but then like what you were talking about, the matchup between Booker and Buddy. What was your favorite part about that matchup?
Just the fact that he's putting so much effort in to playing defense. We know he can get buckets. He said that in the press conference, but the fact that he's contesting every single shot, staying in front of the guy, doing his best to stay in front of the guy. Also, he had a play today where he just shook dude. I don't know who it was. It was Cameron Johnson. It was it Cameron? I think it
I
was, man. He had
Yeah, I
that
don't
dude on
remember, but
skates.
he was in his bag.
He had that dude in skates, and he finished the shot too. So that was nice to watch. I like. I guess what I'm trying to figure out right now is he didn't get faster laterally, right? Both you and I have always said, well, how much better can he be defensively, or how good can he be defensively? Realistically, what do you? And he gave credit to coach, the assistant coach from the Clippers. What do you think it is with him? This improvement. I know it's 3 games, but is it the fact that he's understanding the plays as a team defender, because his individual defense has been really good. So, what do you think has changed?
I just think fans not being there has really made it clear for these guys to
Mm,
talk and hear each
okay.
other. Because there's not people yelling in your ear going crazy. Um, and guys are just communicating. They're talking to hey, back screen, cutter, cutter, cutter. And they can tell Buddy, hey, go down, and he'll remember. Oh yeah, this is my assignment. But
Okay.
I think Luke or whoever the defensive coach has given Buddy the
Rex,
green light
Coach
to make
Rex.
those, yeah, the green light to gamble on some plays. When the bigs roll, you notice Buddy trying to beat the big to the position and try to tip the ball out. And he got him a couple times. Sometimes he missed him, and it was an easy bucket. But I think him and Fox have that green light to say, if you're the rotation man, cut off, intercept the ball, and if you make it good, we got the ball back. If not, it's okay. We'll live with it. And it's paying off. Buddy definitely looks better.
Yeah, Coach Luke Walton said we never found that same fight again in the fourth quarter, and they just did a great job putting this out. Honestly, they put him out in the third. But what do you think about that quote?
Yeah, I think them. It started in the third, ending the third, and then it was like a 13-point game, and in the NBA, that's nothing. With 4 minutes left, that's still nothing. It's just there was like he was talking about the energy was gone when you put Fox in for like the last 3 seconds of the quarter, and he gets this fifth foul. That was ridiculous. So it was just like I just felt like the energy was taken out of your leader, and no
Yeah.
one else was like, okay, I'm that guy now. Like I'm gonna take this team and pick it up. I think it just wasn't there. And you could have said, well, Buddy tried it, Bagley tried it. I think Barnes started to attack in the fourth quarter, but like we needed that in the third quarter. When things were going tough and you kept running plays for Bagley. Barnes is your guy to attack the rim, and we didn't see any of that because he
Yeah.
was on the bench the whole time.
He was 4 of 6. 6 shots is not enough for a guy like Harrison Barnes, who has already
He's
shown to
been
be a very good
phenomenal the
asset.
whole preseason, first 3 games, and all of a sudden you're adding Glenn Robinson in the game, like you talked about yesterday. It's throwing some guys off rhythm, and it's not. And I get it. Like I don't know if it's because it's a back to back, but you're trying to win the game today. You gotta let that man attack the rim.
Yeah, 16 minutes for Glenn Robinson, 0 points, 0 of 1. As you always like to say, I can feel when Tyrese is in the game. I didn't feel like Glenn Robinson was in that game. You didn't feel him. You didn't see him. He stole minutes from Harrison Barnes. He stole rhythm and timing from Harrison Barnes. I have to blame that on Luke Walton. I just have to. Again, if it was a back-to-back thing, I think it's not a valid excuse, especially because we're 3 games into the season. Now, if you tell me this 25 games in, 30 games, I'd be like, all right, HB is tired of attacking the basket. We're 3 games in, man. You better play these guys heavy minutes. They're still very young,
Hmm.
and I expect HB to get at least 35 minutes. At least. At least. I mean, 4 or 6 to me is unacceptable. 7 boards, 10 points. Still had a solid game. Just imagine if he could have played 7 more minutes. Those
Uh,
minutes that you were talking about on that tweet, right?
yeah. So instead of Bagley being that guy attacking, I mean, instead of Barnes, it was Bagley today. Attacking the rim. And I noticed that Bagley is not nearly as good as Barnes is doing that. And respect to the defense of the Suns for stopping. I have to look back and see who was guarding him. I'll probably bring that up tomorrow. Um, but next time for the rest of the Nuggets, I would rather have Barnes attacking the rim instead of Bagley. If you're gonna run 6 plays while Barnes is on the bench, that's not. We found out that does not work. Not yet. I believe Bagley will be able to do it eventually, but not right now.
Right, right. And for the people that are watching this, make sure you hit the like or dislike. Anything helps, please. For the people who are watching this, hit the like button or dislike button. Really appreciate you guys. Bielita, 11 minutes. Whiteside, 10 minutes. I know a lot of fans, some fans, the Whiteside lovers are pretty upset he didn't play. We saw Luke pull him early, had some words with him. He didn't like it. Then you saw that pickup game style, like, give me the ball, and he gets mad, and then he takes that shot. I couldn't stop laughing, bro. I know I'm sick, and I'm coughing a lot. Like, I was down of a cough attack because I was like, oh my God, he literally just did that. He pulled a
He
pickup
did,
game,
and he made
and he
it
made
too.
it.
I was still mad at the shot, but I was like, "What's wrong? Like, did you see what happened? Like, he was yelling at I don't know who had the ball up top, but he was like, "Give me the ball."
Mhm.
Who? What happened before that? Why was he mad? Did you know?
He just felt like, and this is what I'm referring to. There's going to be a lot of moments like this where if he doesn't get the ball, because he's entitled to the idea that he's his big time center, that he needs certain amount of touches, he's going to get frustrated. And we saw the first symptom of that tonight, albeit, as you said, he made the shot, but I don't want him taking that shot, man. That's like a no, 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 no. Oh, yeah, he made the shot. But no, that's not part of the offense. That's not what I want him doing. Just like Rashawn, on disrespect. I don't want, again, I think I saw too much of the bigs on top of the key trying to make a read. I don't like that. I can't even say I don't like it. It just hasn't worked, and I feel like they have to run that more in practice before they start running in a game. But I do understand the idea of running a game because that's the only way that you'll know it'll work. Again, it's 3 games in. I'm not gonna make a big deal out of it, but I would like more DHOs, more of a Spain pick and roll where I saw Buddy and Fox. They kind of half-ass ran that today. De'Aaron didn't set that second back pick to where Buddy should have cut off of it. I feel like they have to implement that into the offense. I saw it last year a lot. I'm not seeing enough of it right now. I feel like
I
De'Aaron can set good screens, man. He's bony, he's strong, and make his presence felt.
I saw the Suns run it perfectly in the
Right,
fourth quarter. It was like I noticed it right away. I was like, "Oh, there it is," and it worked to perfection.
right.
Uh, yeah, I would like to see that, and I'd love to see a lot more off-ball screens to get Buddy open looks, especially
Yeah,
when he's hot. Especially when he's hot, you got to get that guy open looks, man.
yeah. And then Whiteside, again, what did you see from Whiteside today?
I thought he was effective in his minutes. He came in. I think he had 2 blocks right away, and um, I honestly want to know what happened and why he got mad. Was it because he wasn't getting touches?
Yeah.
Like it was like that, or you said Luke pulled him out and spoke to
So
him?
Luke pulled him out quick, and then he went to the bench. Then he put him back in like in the second quarter. He put Bagley in, and that's when Bagley was playing well, blah, blah, blah. And then again, he just wasn't in the flow of the offense, and he got frustrated. He was like, "Give me the ball, give me the ball." He was trying to post. I forget who had the ball, but he was like, "Set me a screen." It was like one of those Bagley buddy plays from last year when he was like, "No, set me a pick. No, no, no. Like I want the ball in the post type of thing." It was really funny. It was really funny to see. But Neil said, "Leo, would who would you rather have than Whiteside than the Kings?" I'm not saying I've enjoyed Whiteside in his limited minutes. Like I really have. I've been pleasantly surprised. But again, he has to be in this type of role where it's limited minutes, 15 to 22 minutes. I think that's the magic number for this guy, especially because he doesn't fit the idea of running pace, especially defensively. Because I am a-okay with Rashawn Holmes switching. He's so good defensively. His instincts are great. I just felt like the refs are taking him out the game, man. Honestly, like he's getting fouls on the other end. He's picking them, I think, 2 fouls a game off of moving screens. Which, if it's
Literally,
anybody else, they're not calling that, bro. I
right.
just think it's so ticky tacky, right?
I think that needs to be brought up and be a point of emphasis. Like we need to find film on all these offensive screens that he's
Yeah,
fouling people on
facts, man.
and send it to the NBA official and say, stop this nonsense.
Yeah, facts. And Bielita today, 11 minutes, 3 points. I think this is the first game where I didn't really feel him. But again, he only took 3 shots, man. He was 1 on 1 from beyond the arc, 3 rebounds, 2 assists, no turnovers. You can't really like say he had a bad game. But again,
Oh,
winning covers things, right? And I don't know. I mean, I think he was better than Glenn Robinson, who had 16 minutes.
yeah.
I
So
think I have to go back and see how Glenn Robinson played defense. But I wasn't impressed. And again, Corey Joseph, 20 minutes a game tonight, 9 points, 2 of 4, 1 and 2 from beyond the arc, 2 turnovers, 2 assists, 2 rebounds. I didn't think he had a good game. Again, last game he was awful. This game he was a little bit better, but he needs to be better if he's playing 20 minutes a night, man. Right?
facts. Yeah. It was different once you were down. To not put in Belita, not put in your same rotations when the game's close. Like the game got away from them, and Luke had to make a call it. Like, do you put in your same rotations you would if you were ahead? And he didn't. He kept his guys in there a little longer, but it just didn't pan out, man. It got out of hand, and I think um, Belita has definitely earned more minutes than Glenn Robinson. I think if you're going to give those minutes up from Harrison Barnes, it's got to be to Belita. Play him at the four. And
Um, to me, I'd rather not give those minutes at all. I just want to see more of Harrison Barnes. This is me being selfish, but I just feel like Harrison Barnes is playing so well. He's so under control right now. I don't want those minutes going to either guy, but in Bielitsa or England Robinson. I want those minutes going to Harrison Barnes. Yeah, maybe spell him a few minutes here and there, but this guy needs to play. You see the difference when he's on the floor and when he's not in rhythm. Then again, if you take him out, you're taking his rhythm away from him. So that's what I want to see more minutes from Harrison Barnes. I know some people want to say, well, I put that Jeffries in. Well, Jeffries was injured today, so he wasn't available. A guy that could make a run for those minutes, maybe Jabari Parker if he gets back again. As you see yesterday, pros got to be pros and they have to stay ready. They'll get a chance. And then tonight, I felt like it was a good chance where Corey wasn't playing well. You put in Kyle Guy maybe a little bit earlier. You get some firepower where you're struggling offensively. A guy that can not really create a shot, but he is a sniper in the sense that guys have to stay home, which creates more space for other guys. That tonight it was a night where he could have maybe played it more than Corey. He didn't. I understand it though. So somebody asked, do I think Haliburton, Xavier Boy, if Haliburton will end up being a starter at the end of the season? What do you think, E-Man?
Mm, I wouldn't be surprised if he did, moving HB to the four. And you took out either Holmes or Bagley.
That's a
I could
problem,
see it.
though. It's a problem. Like, do
I
you take out Bagley and then you have all these in their feelings type thing? And we understand that not the nuances outside of basketball, and they're very real. So I don't know if you do that right now. Halliburton is playing well off the bench. I have no problem with him staying on the bench.
Yeah. Remember when fans were like, no, they're gonna start Haliburton and Fox?
Yeah.
We were like, oh, this is the perfect guy to come off the bench, and everyone's like, no, he's gonna start. We're like, no, he's gonna be great off the bench. This is who you draft at 12. You draft these solid guys who are gonna be productive coming off.
But I like
Uh,
him off the bench because he really gives that second unit a true point guard, which if you put him in the starting lineup, how are you going to disperse those minutes though? Again, right now it's working. I like him off the bench. Now, I could see his minutes going up. He played 27 tonight.
well,
Can
just
he play
look at it
30
like
to
this.
34? That's different.
Well, I mean, starting is just it's just this idea. It's
Yeah.
who's closing these quarters or who's in at the end of the game.
It's
And
just ceremonial, man.
I can see a lineup of Buddy, Ty, and Fox,
That's your best lineup right there.
and then you can throw in Barnes and Hassan, Barnes and Bagley, Barnes and
Rashawn.
Rashawn, like whoever you want at the big,
Those are your
whoever.
four best players right there.
Yeah,
Barnes, Fox, Buddy, and Ty. That's crazy to say, but it's true. Those are your four best players.
yeah. So I can definitely see that. And when you look around the league, there are a lot of smaller teams out there who like the Spurs have DeMar DeRozan at the four.
That's crazy. It's true.
And Aldridge at the five, and you're just like, well, I can see the Kings having Bagley at the five, Barnes at the four, and then you can start tying Buddy. So like a game like that, I can definitely see there's your matchup. It matches up perfectly. So
In
teams around the
today's
league are
NBA, bro, you have to play your best players. I hate this idea of, well, he's a four, he's a five. Like, no. Is he part of your best five players? Yes or no? That's
he'll
simple to
play.
me.
Yeah. So the five is the starting is just the status quo, so you can get the Rookie of the Year campaign and all this other accolades. You can use endorsements, all this other paparazzi stuff. But in just basketball world, he's getting starter. He's getting good minutes, and he will eventually close out games for the Kings. He's only going to get better, and he's already really good.
Yeah, right now, again, 27 minutes. I think the question is not will he start, is whether will he get 30 to 34 minutes. I think the answer is yes. Fox got to be playing 35 or above every night. Tonight, obviously foul trouble, but Buddy played 34. It's about right. Barnes got to be playing 34. He only played 29 minutes tonight. See, those are your guys, right? Those four guys right there, they have to play above 30 minutes, in my opinion. They have to, because those are arguably your best players.
Mhm. Honestly,
Honestly, they are. They are. So they say, I agree. I just think we see Halliburton start before the end of the season. And again, man. Starting the ceremonial, man, doesn't matter. These guys don't care about that. Buddy never cared last season. What Buddy cared about was what he's doing this year, which is give me a defined role. How many minutes am I playing? And that's it. He told us plenty of times, like, that's not it. Like, I don't care about starting. I care about being one of the best players on this team. They're paying me like one. Now let me play those minutes and earn those minutes. But if you take me out in key moments, yeah, that's gonna rub me off the wrong way. But I thought that was pretty obvious. Some fans didn't see it that way. They thought it was because he wasn't starting. It was never the case. It really wasn't. It was just him having that role, that defined role. Like, okay, who am I? How do you value me? And this year, he stepped up his defensive intensity, and he played the most minutes tonight, 34 minutes. Why? Because he was actually doing a really good job on Booker. Like Luke was like, "Damn, like I can't take him out." Oh man,
yeah, it was fun, man. It was fun to watch him out there on defense, and got to reward the guy. He might not have legs, but he don't need legs. He just needs his arms to shoot the ball.
Yeah.
He doesn't even jump anyway. He just launches it with his hands. He's a machine.
So they play the Nuggets. When do they play Nuggets? They play on Tuesday. Tuesday from Sacramento. Let's kind of preview the game real fast. What are your three keys to the game, and what are the adjustments that the Nuggets will make in your opinion?
Um, well, I think Jamal Murray's not going to go take 9 shots tomorrow
Yep.
or whenever they play again. That's pretty much the only adjustment you're going to make is, make him pay for it. Like Jamal, if you noticed, the Kings weren't ever hedging hard. They sank and stuck with Jokic every single time. He still went off, but I guarantee you, when they play again, Jamal's going to take that shot, off the screens. And we'll see how the Kings respond. Maybe they start hedging hard. But my key, get Jokic in foul trouble, man. Just like you did Ayton. Attack him, attack him, attack him, attack him, attack him every single quarter. Barnes, you gotta give the guy minutes and you gotta create plays for him to attack. And when Buddy is hot, create those open plays, man. And let Fox handle the rest. He'll control the game. He'll do his best guarding what's his name, Murray.
Yep.
And you got another hound in Ty who you're gonna throw at Murray, and then Corey Joseph. So I think the Kings are in a good position, man. I just don't fear the Nuggets defensively anymore. Like they just don't look the same. They're gonna outscore teams. Um, on versus the Suns, they have length, bro. Like they have long guys, and so Barnes, you can tell Barnes was getting blocked, and I don't know if that was the reason why Luke was like, "All right, I'm gonna injure my guy. I don't want to play him so much."
Bro,
Because
Mikal's a beast. People don't understand. This guy's elite defensively. Like, this
he's
guy's a
good, yeah.
monster.
And then you got the guy Crowder, who's like going after your
He's
head.
just like a dirty old vet at the gym. He's going to take your head off. That's just his
Yeah,
style of
bro.
play.
And I don't know if Luke was like, "All right, it's not worth." These guys are just like rough. They're just trying to rough up Barnes because when he did attack, he drew fouls, but he earned them, man. Like he was getting hit. And I don't know if that's the reason why he didn't play as Barnes as much. Maybe he was banged up, but versus the Nuggets, I don't fear that at all. I think Barnes can get to the rim. He proved it already. I think Fox needs to prove it now. What are your thoughts for the Nuggets and Kings?
Yeah, well, the Nuggets will play Houston the night before, so that's a back-to-back for them. The Kings have an off day tomorrow.
Don't say that, Leo, because then the Kings are going to take the night off.
No, obviously the Kings are going to take the day off tomorrow. They have to rest up. They played a back-to-back, and they have to watch film, man. They have to see, okay, if they're them, how do you approach this game is put yourself in the shoes of the Nuggets. Like the way I would approach this film session is, okay, we're the Nuggets, y'all. What could have we done better to beat the Kings? That's how I would approach it. And then make these guys this young Kings team, not young Kings team, but this inexperienced playoff Kings team, make them understand that Jamal Murray taking 9 shots is probably a big emphasis. So they should expect a lot more from that. Should they expect a lot more from Michael Porter Jr.? Should they expect less from the Joker? Should they expect more from who is that other guy that can hurt you? Is it Will Barton? Is it the other kid, the other shooting guard?
Harris.
Right, Harris. Make them understand, okay, this is what they can do to beat you guys. So when they make their adjustments, you have to counter certain things. I think that's the advantage of playing a team so fast, right? Where you played them last week. Again, it could be a blessing or a curse. Honestly, it was a curse today because the Suns really adjusted to them. And even though the Kings played really well in the first half, they had a rough last, I would say, 3 minutes of the second quarter. But other than that, it was a really good first quarter and mid to second quarter. They just got to finish quarters better. But again, the fact that you're playing all these teams in the same amount of time, this could be a good thing, and it's giving them experience in the sense that if they ever do make the playoffs, this is what it's going to be like. What
This
type
is
of
exact.
adjustments can you make, right?
Absolutely, bro. You hit it right on the nail. It doesn't get any more close to the playoff experience than playing a team back to back, and consistently you're doing that, and these coaches are making adjustments. This is what LeBron loves.
Yeah.
LeBron loves playing them again. He loves 4 game series because he's like, all right, you guys want to pick my brain? Good luck.
Yep.
So it's fun, man. It'll be a fun season for sure.
The guys who have extreme high basketball IQ will be the ones that will excel. That's simple. Just LeBron, for example, tonight. Yeah, no AD, no Cat, but guess what? They blew him out. And I think the T Wolves are 2-0 too. So they they put him out because just LeBron is just LeBron. Luka's gonna be Luka. Giannis gonna be like all these great players. They gonna be just fine. It's the role players how they adjust in this new type of season where they are playing playoff type games. How they lock in, knowing that one night they can be on, and the next night they can be off. That's simple, man. That's simple. And something that stood out to me that you said today that I'm asleep on is the fact that the big reason why Buddy is better defensively is because there's no people. So he's locked in and he can listen to the communication. So this is a time where a lot of these guys can really excel defensively, man. And I'm really surprised, as I tweeted out. I never thought I'd say this in my life, but the Kings defense is keeping them in. I was shocked. Like they were getting the first 5 possessions, they had like 3 deflections.
Yeah.
That was insane to me. And how do you keep that consistently throughout a game, right? You always talk about that, Draymond Green. How do you stay locked in for 4 quarters? How? Find a way, stay locked in, adjust, all these type of things. It's going to be a chess match for sure, man. With all these
hmm
games being so close to each other, the real stars, the real good players, will ultimately come out on top, man. That's how I feel about it, man.
hmm Yeah, and to just talk just about the NBA in general, the MVP this year is going to be special. Like this is going to be a earned MVP, like a clear cut. It
Yep.
might be really close, but it's going to be like honestly, it's going to be fun. Just for us, for media members, for fans. It's just like, well, man, like it's the playoffs, basically the playoffs all season long. Little mini playoffs all season long, and that whoever that MVP is going to show up and show out every night or most nights for sure.
Yeah, so let's go over the final scores real fast. Again, Lakers won 127-91. Mavericks beat the hell out of the Clippers. What the hell was going on there? That was embarrassing. That was embarrassing, man. The Hornets surprised the Nets. I know you were texting me about my twins, right, from University of Nevada, Reno. They were playing well against KD. We'll talk about that in a little bit. The Wizards lost again to the Magic, 120-113. Pelicans beat the Spurs, 98-95. The Cavaliers beat the Sixers. Wow, 118-94. That is insane. Wonder what happened there. The Knicks beat the Bucks. What the 130-110?
It's a weird
It's
night.
a weird night, man. You know what happened was if you gamble, which I didn't gamble today, but on Christmas Day I got my ass beat. Literally every favorite covered the spread by a lot. It was the first time ever that I saw every single favorite cover games and just they were all blowouts. Like there wasn't one game on slot that was competitive. Like they all won by a lot. So I think Vegas said, you know what? We're gonna have a bunch of weird ass games today. We're gonna have a bunch of results and we
Let's
gonna
mix
twist
it up.
everybody. Boom. That's what happens. Bro, they like roll you in, they let you win one day, and boom. They get you like, yeah, we had y'all, huh?
Give my give my money back.
Yeah, the and some. The Pacers 108, Celtics 107. Sabonis had that fake dribble handoff, which you are great at, by the way. Anytime you and me play pick and roll, it's like that fake dribble handoff. Like, well, I'm going the other way. And then the Warriors beat the Bulls, the winless Bulls, 129-128. Talk to me about that Hornets game real fast and what you noticed about the Caleb, the twins,
Oh yeah, the Martin boys,
the Martin
man. I don't know
boys.
which twin it was, but whoever was playing,
Cody.
Cody played really good defense on KD. Like he was in his groove. He just like he matches up really well because he's laterally quick, and he was able to stay in front of him, and he made it hard on him. Hayward did a he played really well, man. It was good to see Hayward back. Uh, who's number 25? It's something Williams. You think he's
Mm,
a power forward for
Bridges?
Charlotte? No, me and you really like him. He's number 25, but he smashed it on KD, and then Scary Terry smashed it on KD. I was like,
PJ Washington?
yeah, Washington. I was saying,
Okay.
I don't know who I was saying, but Washington. Um,
Yeah, he had
he,
14 points. Hayward had
bro,
28 points.
it was a fun game. Lamelo dimed it to Rozier, and Rozier. Well, KD went try to go for the chase down block and got caught, and he got put on the poster tonight.
Yeah,
And he
and
and he took a L.
yeah, and one thing that I noticed too was Malik Monk, man. This guy's not in the rotation anymore. Top 10 pick. I know I was somewhat high on him coming out of the draft. And it just shows you that two guys from a small mid-major like University of Adarino and the Martin twins, they're literally stealing minutes from this guy. Cody Martin had 18. Caleb had 5 minutes tonight. That just shows you, right? Like those 18 minutes, those should be going to Monk from a technicality standpoint, from a well, he's a top 10 pick, we gotta play him. And I feel like that head coach who's Mexican, he don't care. He's like, no, I'm gonna play my best players and the guys who play the hardest. And that is right there, that's what I want people to understand. It's like it doesn't matter where you get drafted, man. It's about how hungry you are, how bad do you want it. And I'm not saying Malik Monk, like I would love to have Malik Monk the talent because you always want as many talented players as possible, but that shows you right there that ain't nothing given, man. This is a grown man league, and those Martin boys, they play hard, they play winning basketball, and they're beloved among their teammates, they're beloved amongst their coaches. They play the right game, the right way. They approach the game the right way. And I told a lot of people, man, to make one of these guys, specifically Cody, which is the guy that's making the most damage, he gonna be next in the league because the fact that he's 6'7", he can guard multiple positions. He has a high basketball IQ. He's a secondary playmaker, a lot like Tyrese Haliburton, where he can play point guard at 6'7" and get you some buckets too, diving down and just driving and kicking. If you draft a guy like that in the second round, you're like, what? I just stole somebody. And the Kings, I know for a fact the Kings almost had him, but then they ended up drafting Justin James, which again, no disrespect to him, but Cody Martin's a winner, man. I mean, he's been a winner all his life. And if he signs somewhere else, because I know development teams like the Raptors and the Heat, they gonna be after this guy, man. Because if they get their hands on this guy, or on even Caleb, who is a scorer, right? But man, like these kids are winners, man. And I wish Malik Monk the best, but as of right now, he's out of the rotation.
That's so true, man. You hit it right. You hit it right on cue, man. And just think about when I was watching them. That team is so versatile. Like they're missing a big, but they're
Yeah,
they're on like what we were preaching about like for years. Like they just have wings on wings on wings, and they don't have any bigs besides. I think his name is Biombo.
yeah, Bismack.
As their only big and everything else, but they can switch on anyone and they'll have a good matchup. Terry is pretty good defender. Then you have the Cody brother, you have LaMelo, you have Gordon,
No,
and you
you know
have
what's funny too? Devonte Graham talking about Malik Monk. Like Malik Monk was the feature guy, just like Bagley's a feature guy, and you have to play him because he's a top 10 pick. Devonte Graham won the top 10 pick, and he outperformed Malik Monk. Like now you got an undrafted guy in Caleb, a second round pick in Cody, a late first to early second, I think, in Graham, if I'm not mistaken. That right there, man, that shows you a lot about the character of a guy too. Like I'm supposed to be the guy, and now I'm deep in the. I'm like I'm not even in the rotation. That's crazy to me. That's crazy though. Like these dudes are just playing ball, bro. Graham from Kansas, again, big program. Um, I know for a fact he was a late pick, and this dude is balling. Like this dude is a hooper for sure. So
Oh, Scary Terry was drafted 16th. I thought he was later too, but
yeah, I mean,
16, man, it's not bad. And
yeah. But Scary came in with the big contract. He came in with the big expectations from Beantown, so that changed a little bit from a highlight standpoint. But those three guys, Graham and the Cody brothers, like that tells you a lot, man. I remember because Malik Monk was supposed to be tweaker shooting guard, but they really started him at the point, and they're like, man, like this dude ain't a point guard. This
mm-mm.
guy just doesn't have it from a playmaking ability, from a playmaking standpoint. So to me, that's crazy. And I don't know if he's coming off an injury or what the case is, but 2 second rounders, man, I mean, they're playing over you, bro. Like I don't know. And I would like to have him, but he may just be a name, bro. Because I remember, draft the Kentucky boys, Fox and Malik Monk will do damage together, and the Kings had a chance to actually make that happen at 10. And they said not. Like, then again, to me, it should have been Fox and Spider Mitchell, but that's neither here nor there, man. Uh,
Don't remind me, bro.
Tell me about it, bro. But yeah, man, I thought we had a good show. We broke down a lot of the stuff. We appreciate everybody that joined. For everybody that's watching, please hit the like or just like button. It helps out a lot. We appreciate every single one of you guys, and we'll see you guys on Tuesday. Thank you, guys. Peace.